Hey guys, kind of bummer result for stage 2. Blitz absolutely tanked. Worst thing was they put the leader role on him and then they just bombed out. So that was super unlucky, but Spirit with Tania looking very good. So that's kind of cool for them. Looking at the playoffs, I think a lot of people are going to be gravitating towards Spirit and Falcons just based on the performance, 3-0, but also because FaZe and 3D Max feel like the weakest teams in this playoff and definitely beatable by both Falcons and Spirit. So I think going into these teams makes a lot of sense. Worth noting though, there's a third place decider. So actually, I think there's some value in some of the other teams. For instance, I think Vitality are actually quite a decent pick, and Mouse as well. Although I do think Na'Vi can win that game. Na'Vi seem to be able to win any game, but also lose any game, so that's a difficult one. So I can see why people might move away from Mouse. But Mouse are actually really sleepy here, especially because they probably could beat Falcons in a rematch. Like I could see them doing it, so yeah, I don't hate Mouse here just because I think they can do decent, but I think Vitality, very sleeper because they've seen Spirit and Falcons in all the top 8 players. So I think at least one Vitality player is a really smart investment for this event. Looking at some players for Vitality, the 2 that you want to draft are Rops and Mezzi. Mezzi was the best performer during stage 2, and Rops has been very good as well. And I think just in terms of the price, they're the 2 you want to go. For Mals, the standouts are Torgy, Spinks, and Zertian. Spinks was the best during stage 2, but I think Torgy's also really good value, and I think in playoffs tends to step up. So I think those 3, but particularly these 2, are the best to go. Don't rate Jim Fat or Brolin here. Spirit, Tania has seen a price increase after his great stage 2. Fair enough, and I can understand why you'd want to draft him, but I'm not sure how reliable that output's going to be. Had a shaky game 1. I don't know against kind of the top teams if he's going to be able to do the same sort of output. And so personally, I lead more towards Shiro if you're thinking about Tania. But I think all the Spirit players have their reason you'd want to draft them. Even Donk, 235 is really cheap for Donk. Like that is crazy cheap Donk price, especially because Chopper's 181. So that's a really decent combo. Furia, not really rating them here just because they have a really hard opening game. And then even if they get past Vitality, they're not beating Spirit. They're not winning the third place decider. I don't know. It's really tough to draft them. But also, I think they're a little bit too expensive. Like the players you want, Quesarada and Molodoi, you can get star players from teams that are favorites for the same price. So pass for me, except for maybe Fallen if you want a cheap 5th. Falcons, Nico and Tessus are ridiculously cheap. Like 209 and 192 for this 2. It's a great combo. It's hard for me to justify the other 3 when these 2 are so cheap. Na'Vi, I think you draft these guys if you really want to go an underdog draft and you think they can beat Mouse, but personally I think Mouse are the better choice of the 2. However, if you can't afford Mouse because you've gone heavier into Spirit, for instance, maybe you want to go into like Bit Imma or Wonderful Imma or something like this. Makaze, any of these 4 I think have their reasons to want to draft them, and Wonderful did pretty good for me in stage 2, so Na'Vi can win games. Like they're a weird team. They can win any game, but they can also lose any game. So hard to call, but I can understand why you'd go them. Personally, would avoid 3D Max and FaZe. Both of them heavily unfavored to win their opening matches. Slight argument for 3D Max because Falcons sometimes do look a little shaky, but I'd be very, very surprised if either of these teams won their opening match. And I think if you're looking for a budget player, you're better off looking at like Alexi B, Kickstand, Fallen, Chopper, rather than any of these players. So for my draft, I will be going Nico Tessus. They're just unbeatable at those prices. I can't say no. And I'm also going to go very basic and go Devil's Spirit with Chopper and Zway. So I'm not going in on the stars here because it leaves me with a whole chunk of money, just enough to grab Rops. My hope here is that Vitality either upset or they'll go into third place decider and win that. And because not many people will be going Rops, they're going to go the Stars of Spirit. I can maybe get some extra points off the back of him. So fingers crossed this should work out so long as Falcons don't bomb out. But hey, if they do for everyone. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to start taking risks for the rest of the season. But for now, playing it safe. So anyway, let me know what you're doing and let me know how your season's going. And as always, good luck.